Hi there, I'm Irk, and this is my channel Get Irked, and in this episode we're going to talk about Dutch Brothers, the Starbucks killer. Before we get started, if you could smash that like button and hit subscribe, you'd really be helping me out. My subscribers are fantastic. So let's talk about Dutch Brothers, the recent IPO, ticker symbol BROS. At first glance, you might think Dutch Brothers is a direct competitor for Starbucks, ticker symbol SBUX, and you'd be right. However, I've been watching this company for years because I live in the Pacific Northwest, and it's a very strange experience. Not only does the company really take care of its employees, which makes it a pretty good ESG play, it also has a fanatical customer base. Every time Dutch Bros opens a new location, the drive-thru line literally goes right around the block. And it's not something that just happens right when it opens. The line stays there all day, every day from then on. People absolutely adore Dutch Brothers coffee and drinks, and because of its business model, it has low overhead and can make huge profits. Additionally, because Dutch Bros is mainly in the Pacific Northwest, it's got huge growth potential because it can expand to the entire country. Because of its fanatical customer base, I was waiting for Dutch Bros to go public, and it did. It IPO'd on September 15th. When it comes to buying an IPO on the open market, I have a rule. I don't buy on the first day, and whenever I break that rule, like I did with Coinbase, ticker symbol COIN, things go badly wrong. So even though I really wanted shares in Dutch Bros, I knew that I needed to wait at least a couple of days so that we could establish some price action. Let's go to the charts. As you can see, Dutch Bros opened to public trading down here at $32.42, and in the first day of trading it had a high of $40.10 and ended up closing the day at $36.68, a gain from its open of nearly 13%. Even though it's only had a few days of trading while I've been recording this video, you can see that its movements are quite erratic. So rather than look at it on the daily time frame, let's switch to the 15-minute time frame so we can have some more price action. I made my first buy on September 20th with a 50% allocation at $42.25. Dutch Bros closed the day at $51.56, which gave me a profit of 22.04% on my first day. Afterward, despite being a down market, Dutch Bros continued higher and ended up hitting an all-time high here the day after at $61.97. So now that I have my first buy and only have a 50% position, what am I going to do next? I know how difficult it can be when you want a full position in a new investment, and it's very volatile like this. It's tempting to go all in and just buy everything all at once, especially when you're afraid that a new stock like Dutch Bros is going to get carried away and you're going to miss out on the opportunity. However, after doing this for more than 22 years, I can tell you, at least for myself, that I'd much rather just have a 50% allocation and miss the opportunity than go all in and end up having no cash on the sidelines when the investment suddenly sells off. So what are my buying targets from here? First, because Dutch Bros has been so strong, I'm going to use the low of the same day I bought as my next target to add more to the position, and it's down here at $41.10. If Bros breaks below that level, my next buy will be down here where you can see there's quite a bit of price action, and I'll probably make the buy right about here at $37.36. After this, I'll make a third buy down here right around $33.56, but I'm not going to be all in even then because Dutch Bros could break through its low. So what's a good way to determine levels when you've got an IPO and it hasn't established price action? Well, first, let's go down to where its initial public offering price was at $23. From here, say it with me, let's draw a Fibonacci retracement from its low to its all-time high. In TradingView, you do this by hitting Alt-F, starting at the low and then going to the high, and you can see that it gives you developed levels that might provide additional support. The lowest one in the retracement at $31.44 here. Since that's not giving us any levels below $30, another method we could do is to draw another Fibonacci retracement from where it opened to the public to its all-time high, and you can see that we've got a level of support down here at $24.38. Let's draw another Fibonacci retracement from the low of the day that I bought to the high, and you can see now that we've got $31.44, we've got $28.20, we've got $24.38, and then the $23 starting price. These are what I'm going to use as buying targets in the future should we actually see Dutch Bros break through its opening price. price. Now, what will I do if Dutch Bros doesn't break through its opening price and it just continues higher? In that case, what I have is what I have. That's the position I'm going to have for the future, and I'm not going to be able to buy a full allocation. Additionally, the fervor behind Dutch Bros is so strong that if it hits $85, a double from my start, anytime in the next 2 months, I have to take profits. That's one of my rules, and I have to stick to my discipline. For me, Dutch Bros has real long-term potential, which is why it's in my investments in play portfolio and not my speculation in play portfolio. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.